Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 Build a Nation story from Bangor City with me, Daniel. It's part 32 today. We've got some transfer window news to reflect on, albeit a pretty quiet window. We've got another old firm test, this time against Celtic. And we've got a celebration because with 25 games played in the league season, we have won the domestic title back. After beating Barrytown United, after beating Aberystwyth last week, we are back as champions. After Barry won it last year, we are back on the top crown. And that means Champions League football next year. So we've just got to hold on financially for 3 to 4 more months. And we know that this save could change forever. Today, we'll be playing Connah's Quay as well as we show you some league action. But if you are looking forward to the big semi-final, a chance to reach a major cup final outside of the domestic realms, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from 2 long-term stories. And if you're not up to date with the head coach, please do go back and watch the last couple of episodes because it has been absolutely nuts. Thank you for your support on this channel and over on the podcast too. We're nearing 800 subscribers there. And our next interview is with boyhood Bangor fan and current Portadown manager Matthew Tipton. So lots to get excited about there. But let's have a look at the schedule to see what's been happening since you were last with me. Because it's been a little interesting run actually. So you were with me as we played Barry in mid-January. We had a little break then and we played 4 games since. Against Port Talbot, a comfortable 2-0 win in the Cup, Hankin and Boot for a much rotated side. It would be nice to see them come back up to the top tier actually, a side I used to enjoy managing in this game. But then this month, resounding victories against very good opposition. So in the top 6 split, we've played TNS, both strikers got a brace, Barrytown United with 5 goals including a Duffy brace, and then a 3-0 win against Aberystwyth with a Max Dean hat-trick wrapping up the title for us. So we've still got a fair few games to go, 7 left in total, but it's already won. The goal difference is insane, the quality is there, and the focus is all on this competition and trying to win our first Welsh Cup as well, something that's eluded us throughout. Too hard to take defeats in the Cup final so far in our first 3 years, so that's the one I really want. But of course this trophy means something to me. Produced my favourite thumbnail last year, with Cliftonville that was in FM20, and now it's got a chance to do it again. So let's go and get into those games via the transfer screen, just so you can see what's been happening really. In terms of ins, it was absolutely nothing. In terms of outs, it was just getting a few off the wage bill. So Gareth Doran, due to the signing of Brooks as the second under-19, he went on loan to Port Talbot, and he's doing well there, having made 2 appearances. Riley Harbottle went back to England, he's playing for Gloucester in the National League South. I think they're in the south now anyway. They're not, they're in the north still. Oh, it's a strange old league down there. But either way, he's gone there and he's played a couple of games in the National League North as it is. But a good servant for us either way. Kabongo Shamanga went to Shamrock Rovers for £2,100. We signed him on a free in the summer, so it made sense to let him go. And he's going to go and be a backup there instead of here. Doesn't really make much difference to us, but we just had 4 better options. And then Marcus Sharp went on a free transfer to Stevenage under-18s. It's a good opportunity for him financially. It's a good chance for him to develop, but he was never going to be good enough for us. So we couldn't stand in his way. So a lot more in terms of the outs. Not really much happening in terms of ins yet. A quick thank you to Macca who pointed out that I had Samuel Fanian at Barnsley in FM19 in the reserve squad. Never noticed, never knew, didn't remember the name. But he's playing in League 2 now and he's doing a decent job at Northampton, albeit his average ratings are poor. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on there because he did play well for us and always scored goals. But we've got 2 big games today and unfortunately the first one is the biggest one. It's the toughest test, but we said that when we were playing Rangers reserves and we made light work of that. So let's hope the other side of Glasgow give us just as much of a chance to get through. It's Celtic who we face today and we've got some injury problems. Max Dean's got a knock, so Glatzel in for him. Josh Thomas is still there on the bench and I think Boot will join him there. In terms of midfield, I had been playing with Benson in the holding role and Magoma in a midfield too. I don't know if that's the best option moving forward, but for now, I think it's the one we're going with. And then at centre half, it's sort of between Even Press, who we've dropped back a bit, and Ben Hockenhull, who's the better defender. So I think for this game, because of the nature of it, Hockenhull will come in. But that may not be the case after this week, so we'll wait and see. Alex Reid just coming back from a long injury, so he's on the bench for now. And otherwise, I think we're in a really good position. We're doing as well as we can do. We've got the strongest squad possible available. And this is the 11 that will go out today. albeit without Maxine. It's a Brett in goal, Vaughan and Bolton the fullbacks with Badebo and Hockenhull at centre-half. Benson in that holding role alongside Magoma, Brooks and Cottrell the number 10, with Joe Duffy joined by Paul Glatzel up front. Just his second start since he's come back actually, both of those in the cup, but 2 league goals off the bench, so he's making an impact. We'll see if he does the same today. That's the 18, some good game changers on the bench. Let's see if we can beat Celtic Reserves, and let's see, like Rangers, what names they've got playing for them. Hopefully no one of Joel Linton's quality. So the 2 changes as we outlined, Dean and Press out, Glatzel and Hockenhull in, and Celtic Reserves are waiting. I can't wait to see how many big names they've got in here. I'm guessing there'll be a few. Let's have a look. Heino's been linked with us on loan a couple of times. He's a good player. Scott Bain's been playing against us in the SPL in some of our other series. I don't recognise many more of them after that actually. I've got to give them that. It looks like a proper reserve team. So I'll wait and see what that means in terms of quality. But for the first half, I'm a little more optimistic. Though you never know what way these things can go. So into the first half is Celtic v Bangor. No idea where we're playing. And the touchline tablet's on the brink again. But let's go and get into it. 5 minutes gone, nothing to play for so far. But it's a throw on the right-hand side to be taken by Mackenzie. Magoma gets in and nicks it and clears downfield. And with Glatzel up there, will our front 2 be as potent? Not got that same relationship playing together, but it deflects through to Duffy and he slides it in. Under Scott Bain, the keeper, and we lead in 9 minutes. Celtic Reserves 0, Bangor City 1. And we are 82 minutes away from the cup final. And this could be a massive moment. There was a news of an injury there as well. Oh, it's Joe Duffy. A twisted knee as well. But with Josh Thomas being the only sub-striker, do I trust him to do 82 minutes? I don't know. Ethan Vaughan puts one just wide there. If that had gone in, I'd perhaps have been a bit more keen to do it. But as it is, I'm going to try and get Joe Duffy to at least half an hour. As Mackenzie crosses for Celtic, Marquez heads just over. And our first warning sign at the back with a quarter of an hour on the clock. Still dominant so far, no shots on target for the home side. And despite the injury concerns, we're on our way to the final. And we've got a throw on the left again with Bolton. He's headed away by Hurd, but it's only going to find Benson. He's done really well in that holding role, despite it not being as natural. And Badebo gets on the end of that poor pass. Magoma wide to Bolton, 3 in the middle. Cottrell making the third man run. It's a good save by Bain. Straight at him in truth though, could have done better. And it remains 1-0, but it's a corner kick. An in-swinger by Benson, plenty of men in there. Duffy's one of them, loses out in the header. His fitness is actually alright there in terms of condition. So we'll keep an eye on it for now. I'm not going to make the sub just yet. As Cottrell up to Brooks, flicked on towards Duffy. Bain comes and hoofs it long. Only as far as Badebo, who recycles it again. But a very good first half an hour. No shots on target for Celtic. And we've looked really comfortable. You couldn't ask for more. But it is Celtic with a throw in now. Mackenzie takes it from the right. A fairly advanced position. Skins Bolton, crosses in. Vaughan heads it away, but it's back out wide to Mackenzie. Hockenhull clears second time. Magoma downfield. Duffy's got on the end of it. He could well go and score here. Joe Duffy's in. Oh, he's put it wide. That's a great chance. Joe Duffy's missed an absolute sitter. We've got another throw on the left. Bolton gives it away, but it looks like Vaughan's going to get on the end of the flick on. At right back, around the halfway mark. Just got a chance to go down the line. Instead plays safe to Hockenhull. Oh, and he's been mugged. Marquez has taken it off him. Puts in Heino. He's 1-on-1. And if with our first shot on target we concede, we're fortunate with a block from Bolton. The keeper had gone down already. Excellent work by the defender. But you can't give ones like that away. And Hockenhull, for all of his qualities defensively, he's not great on the ball. And that's why even Presser's been making his way in. As Bolton throws into Cottrell there, And he gets it into Duffy. Time on the ball. Does not look injured, Duffy, does he, the way he's playing? Gets to the byline on the right, chance to cross. It's deflected back to him in the second time. It's overhit, but Cottrell recycles it. Finds Bolton on the left-hand side, into Brooks. Finds Benson, now Magoma. Still keeping possession nicely, finds Ethan Vaughan. Skins his fullback, gets into the box. Cuts it back to Magoma. He's got 2 men with him, gives it away to Maxwell. And the clearance is flicked on, but Badebo's there. And we just keep winning it back high up the pitch. It's excellent work. Magoma's got Vaughan out wide again. Still 3, 4, 5 flooding forward. Into Duffy in the box. Oh, that's a delicious chip. Just had a bit too much width on it and Hurd clears away. But at half time, it's 1-0 to Bangor. And it really should be more. It really should be. I think about taking Duffy off. He seems to be alright for now. But the lads are inspired. It's 1-0 at half time. And it's been another outstanding performance in this competition. Make it 4 in a row. But it's a throw on the right for Celtic. They've come out in the second half and they're on the front foot. Conceded to Brooks, who clears downfield. Here's Glatzel. Through ball towards Duffy. Flicks on, but nobody's there. It'll go straight through to Bain, who clears it long downfield. It goes towards Ethan Vaughan, our right back, who gets there first. Finds Hockenhull. Benson to Magoma. Up to Cottrell. The football down the middle is beautiful now. Vaughan overlapping in towards Duffy. And it's just overhit through to the keeper. But lovely stuff. Lovely interchange in play. And we look a great side now. We've waited a long time for this. Bolton over the top. Duffy will be offside. Can chase now though. Huggins has received it. He gives it away to Vaughan under pressure. And Cottrell plays a 1-2 with Magoma. He's got Vaughan overlapping on the right. It's constant pressure. Into Ben Cottrell. Cuts it back. Glatzel second time it's in. The first one blocked by the defender. The keeper had already dived down to his left. And Paul Glatzel passes it into the open goal. And it's 2-0 to Bangor City. Thoroughly deserved. Let's go and replace Duffy, who's a little bit tired. He's going to come off after his injury and Josh Thomas will replace him. And he's going to get 35 minutes in a big game. That's going to help him no end. With the injuries he's had, we're probably not going to see the best of him anytime soon. But we're playing out from the back again, and the fitness is going to help. As he goes long, Glatzel can't get there. Hino flicks on at the other end, and the goalkeeper comes. So Brett does really well. We got some tired legs in the centre of midfield as well, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But Zabret rolls out to Hockenhull. Clears it downfield under pressure. Cottrell picks it up. He's first at everything in there. Had a few poor games a little while back, but he's really come back now. There's a long clearance. Glatzel flicks it on. Reynolds intercepts to O'Neill. Now Mackenzie. He's probably looked the most dangerous player for Celtic there. And he goes long to Davidson, who's in one-on-one. Gets into the box. Zabret was in no man's land. But thankfully, Davidson put it miles wide. If he'd hit the target, was probably going in truth. Just under 20 minutes to go. We get a warning to take Vaughan off because he's won from a suspension. I guess with the final coming up, we'll replace him with Hankin. And then Brooks is quite tired as well. So, let's bring either Press or Coyle. We'll bring Coyle on. And we'll put Benson into centre midfield where he's best. Coyle as the ball winner. Just give us that bit more solidity. Because Celtic will throw men forward towards the end. They've already got that front four there, which is going to be good. They've got attacking substitutions on. But we're coping with it comfortably. Our expected goals is 3.17. And actually, the fact that it's only 2-0, you could argue it's a disappointment today. As Hockenhull chips it up, Thomas can get there. If he could score, it would be the icing on the cake. But look, he's got less pace. He finds Glatzel though, and he does make it 3. Josh Thomas lost that little yard after injury. But my word, what a bit of composure. He's still got the technical quality. Brings it down, finds Glatzel, and he slides in for his second as Jack Hankin throws in from the right. Gets it to Magoma. Back to Hankin again. Crosses in towards the front post. It's cleared as far as Davidson. He flicks it on to Marquez and up to Hino. A chance for Celtic to get a consolation perhaps. Into the left side of the box. Not much support with him. It is coming now though as he cuts it into Swanson. And it's 3-1. Celtic get a goal. But with 3 minutes of stoppage time to go, it must be too little too late. Let's hope so anyway. And there is the final whistle. Another exemplary performance from Bangor in this competition against Larne, Hamilton, Rangers and Celtic 4 times in a row. We have been stunning. Yes, it's the reserves. Yes, it's not the best team they're putting out. But we're into a final. And that is a massive achievement for this club. And the finances are going to help too. So we've got to be excited. Now let's get back to Connah's Quay and celebrate our home return as champions in style. Still 7 games to go. But something we can really get excited about. I'll see you in a minute as we've got Dunfermline in the SPFL Trust Trophy final too. It's time for game 2, and what's actually probably more important than our running in the league, having already won it, is what's going on at some of the other clubs. Barry and TNS have dropped to 4th and 5th again. I don't know what's going on with TNS. They're a professional side, they're signing good players, and they're just making a hash of everything. They stole Carmarthen's best player, and they're now 8 points behind them. Carmarthen up in 2nd. We've not seen much of them at all in this save, apart from that Welsh Cup final last year. Connah's Quay doing well again. Barry, they lost some key players. We knew that would happen. But it is very bizarre what's going on. But either way, let's go and play Connah's Quay. It's a big game for us at the top because we've got to start getting fitness and minutes into some of these youngsters. They're good players and we need to keep them fit. But we also need to bear in mind what we've got coming up. So next week we've got a Welsh Cup quarter-final. I need everyone match fit. And then 3 weeks after that, we've got the Cup final against Dunfermline, which we'll be back for. So I have got to bear that in mind as well. So I'm thinking the next 2 games will be first team. Then we'll have a game where we play the youngsters and then we'll go to and fro as such. But Hockenhull I will switch with even press to keep them both fit. In midfield, I don't think there's a great deal I can do. I'm going to stick with the same aside from that. Max Dean back onto the bench. He's of course got a lot of quality. But we will leave Glatzel and Duffy today because they've both done very well. I don't think Duffy's risk of injury is any higher. In fact, it is. So let's rest both. Duffy will come out for Max Dean. Glatzel stays in as well. And we're just starting to rotate a little. There's not long to go in the season. There's not long until Champions League football. So let's really start to get our best 11 together. This is it for today. Just a couple of changes. Let's go and get back into the second game. Connah's Quay at home should be a win. The likes of Reece Kavanagh, Jimmy Spencer, our former striker, Braden Shaw all in there. They're a good attacking side. They've got Connor Lemon-High-Evans on the bench, who's a very good player. They've just not quite got the consistency, but they're still up in third. They're above last season's champions Barry. They're above TNS, the other professional side. If we can just get one or two of these sides in Europe who go on a little run and turn professional, it'll change this save forever, but it has to happen eventually. And it looks like we're going to have to be the first to get into the group stages of Europe. And then we can bring some of the other boys with us. But 15 gone. It's been very quiet here so far. And probably not the best start. But then, what have the lads got to play for in the league? As Magoma picks it up 30 yards out. They're playing just to keep fitness for this competition. As Vaughan gets it out on the right, into the box. Goes alone, he wins the pen. It says he even presses taking it. He can't be the best taker. He's not even close. So it's going to be... I'm going to put Benson on it. Because I don't think he's scored for us yet. And Cottrell's nervous, who's the only one better. So let's get Benson stepping up. A chance to score what might be his first goal for Bangor City. Here he comes, up confidently and straight down the middle. Excellent pen. 1-0 with 20 minutes gone. And it was his first goal for the club. So 2 birds with 1 stone there. An excellent start for Bangor. We are back with 10 to the break as we win a free kick 30 yards out. And it looks like one of the Connah's Quay boys was getting booked. Max Dean takes it though, just wide of the far post. I tell you what, he had the keeper scrambling there, didn't he? Absolutely brilliant stuff. 5 to the break. We've still only had that penalty on target, in fact. It's not been our finest display, but it's been comfortable. As Bolton picks it up on the left again. Cuts it inside to Brooks. He's got 2 behind him. One of them's Badebo. He brings it forward as well. Switches to Vaughan. The right back cuts into Magoma. Back to press on halfway. In towards Brooks. Got a chance to go left here, but it finds Glatzel instead. He does look for Bolton on the overlap. Into the box unopposed. Chance to cross. It beats everyone. Out to Ethan Vaughan on the right-hand side. He finds Magoma in the penalty area. Vaughan crosses again. Max Dean's in. He's just offside. The flag goes up. Prevents 2 before the break. Still 1-0 here. Connah's Quay haven't been a threat at all. And that's where we are at half-time. One very ambitious effort from Connah's Quay that didn't hit the target. And despite us not doing a great deal, we've definitely dominated and we deserve to be ahead. And again, we'll have a chance to bring youngsters on. As Pugh puts a free kick in, Badebo heads away. Chance to get right. Dean picks it up. He's dropped right back to pick this up. Edge of his own box. Plays a 1-2 with Ethan Vaughan, the traditional right back. And chips it into Brooks in the middle. Picking teams off like this on the counter is so easy. As Ethan Vaughan gets it again. Chance to cross from the right. Cuts it back to Brooks. 30 yards from goal. He's got Bolton left. Cuts it to him. He's run inside to Cottrell. Back to Brooks to Magoma. Brilliant effort. And it rattles the woodwork on its way over. Still 1-0. And you've got to ask how. We definitely should have had a second. 25 to go though. And 1 remains to score. So let's go and get some substitutions on. We'd like to bring on Jack Hankin. He will replace Bolton. Vaughan will swap to left back. In terms of midfield, I think we'll take Magoma off maybe. Perhaps even Benson now he's got his first goal. Or Brooks because he's on loan. You just don't know which. I'm going to take Brooks off. I'm going to replace him with Alex Reid, the young centre-half. Press will go into centre midfield. And then we can take off either Cottrell, Dean or Glatzel. I think Max Dean's the one coming back from injury, isn't he? So he should be the one we sub. Joe Duffy, we're not going to bring him on because he's a high risk of injury. So let's give Josh Thomas another run out. He's back from injury. He's building his fitness. And although we won't see the best of him for some time yet, we're starting to get minutes into those legs and build that confidence most importantly. So with 20 to go, it's Connah's Quay on the attack. But we're happy with the game so far. As Watts crosses, Benson clears. Only as far as Watts again though. And for all we say, it's only 1-0. Only takes 1 chance at this point. But Zabret gets that one. It was woefully overhit into the box. And he'll roll it out to Reid, the centre-half. Long ball forward towards Thomas, who flicks on for Glatzel. Cuts it inside to Magoma. He's got a man overlapping out right, and it's Jack Hankin this time. Back into Magoma. Finds Cottrell to Benson. Cottrell again. switches left to Ethan Vaughan. He's probably going to have to cut in onto his right foot, which he does. Delivers towards Magoma, who loses out in the air and is headed as far as Benson. But it is an absolute onslaught. They just can't get out their own half. Hankin surges down the line, delivers a beautiful cross, and Paul Glatzel heads it in for his 5th since rejoining. But Jack Hankin, what a delivery. And to be fair, for a youth academy prospect, thinking about having homegrown players for Europe and all of that, he's going to be one for the future because he's definitely going to be good enough to be our backup right back. Certainly at this level, playing in the domestic league, he'll be able to contribute for the long term. As Moore picks it up on the right for Connah's Quay. 2 to get back at now, but Shaw might get one of them. Heads just over the bar. That's where Hankin is losing out a bit. Not got that quality and positional sense defensively yet. And we gave them half a chance, but they've had no shot on target. We've dominated. With 2 minutes plus stoppages, it's going to be a comfortable win again. 2-0 looks like the score. It looks like Josh Benson's got a broken finger as Josh Thomas tries to get on the end of a free kick. It falls for Hankin, who switches left to Cottrell. He's got 3 in the middle if he can find them. Goes alone. It's a good challenge by Moore. I was really hoping for a penalty that I could give to Josh Thomas, but it's not to be as Kavanagh brings it away into the opposition half. Goes back to Moore again, but only 10 seconds to go, and they're not showing any ambition to score here. They're just trying to keep the ball. Moore switches it. Shaw gets in as I say that. It's a good save by Zabret. Nearly had to eat my words there. But it's going to be a clean sheet. It's going to be a good victory. And despite that little moment at the end, I think we're very happy with today's performance. Lemon High Evans puts the corner in. That's gone over as well. And the final whistle should go as soon as this goal kick's taken. It has. It's a comfortable 2-0 win. And albeit not the euphoric high we had against Celtic last time out, another very good professional performance that shows just how well this team's developing. It was at this stage last year we couldn't buy a win. And perhaps the most important news to come. We are 6 games away from an invincible season. And if you consider how many points we threw away last year, it would be remarkable. 23 wins, 3 draws, a plus 60 goal difference, 71 scored, 11 against. It is remarkable. Compare that to last year. Second place on 57 points, 7 defeats, 9 draws, 54 scored, 26 against. It's a very different side. The striker signings have been everything. The defensive signings have been solid. And we just look a top-class team now. The European race is really hotting up below, but we're not going to be focusing on Welsh Premier League action now. We've regained that title. We're delighted. We are going to be back for Dunfermline in the SPFL Trust Trophy final. Probably the biggest game of this save so far in terms of stature for the club. It's a trophy or a competition, It's got a fairly good reputation. Got a fairly good standing. It's up in 61st place in terms of cups. It's a 1.5 star reputation competition. It's got a bigger reputation than the Welsh League and the Welsh Cup. So that's something that we've got to bear in mind. If we win it, it can have a real big impact on us. We'll then hope we can keep getting through in the Welsh Cup, and it'll be 2 finals to finish off the season. But of course, we'll wait and see as time goes on. However, if you did enjoy this one, a brilliant performance against Celtic, a solid one against Connah's Quay, and some of the fringe players leaving the club, please do put a thumbs up on the video. We should have a youth intake next time as well. Not that we've been warned, it's much to look forward to. So if you want to stay up to date with that and all the other content on the channel, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. You'll get alerts as daily content releases from this series and the head coach too, as well as 2 live streams a week. If you're not up to date with the head coach, as I said earlier, please do check out the last couple. They've been absolutely mad, so I hope you enjoy them. You can find the links to all the playlists and the podcast channel in the eye above. But a massive thank you for joining me again, and we've got 2 more big episodes to come this season. The SPFL Trust Trophy final for the first time, and hopefully a first Welsh Cup success. I'll see you next time to see if we can do it.